everyone, and welcome to podcast 9 3/4, a Potter podcast. I'm your host, the Half-Blood Princess. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how the Harry Potter movies left out Fred Weasley's death scene. But before we get started, if you love Harry Potter as much as I do, be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We know how the Harry Potter movies had to change a lot of things from the books to be able to make the film adaptation. However, there's so many things from the books that should have been left in the movies. There's also additional things to the movies that could have been left out. The Weasley family was a big part of the Harry Potter series, as they were a huge part of Harry Potter's life. Harry's best friend was Ron, whose older twin brothers, Fred and George, were also featured a lot in the books and movies and have a really close relationship with Harry. So that's why not showing Fred Weasley's death in the movies is a little troubling to me. Fred was killed in the Battle of Hogwarts. His twin brother George never fully got over Fred's death, even naming his first son after Fred. Fred's death was one of the most heartbreaking moments in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows book, but the movie adaptation changes that, and in the process took away most of the scene's emotional impact when it plays out in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 movie. In the book, Fred and George were assigned to defend Hogwarts' secret passages, and when the Death Eaters forced their way in, Fred fought next to his older brother Percy, who had just ended his role with the Ministry of Magic. Fred turned to his brother and was interrupted mid-sentence by an explosion in the group, which was Harry, Ron, Hermione, Fred, and Percy, and they all flew through the air in opposite directions. After the initial shock, Harry realized he was half buried in the wreckage of the corridor, and that's when he heard a terrible cry that pulled at his insides. He saw 3 red-headed men grouped on the ground and heard someone shouting in denial. Percy was shaking Fred's body, and Ron was kneeling beside him. Rowling's words of the Weasley's death scene makes it even more heartbreaking, describing Fred's eyes as staring without seeing. Percy didn't leave Fred's side until Harry helped him move the body to somewhere safer, and he was later moved to the Great Hall, where his friends and family were able to mourn over him. However, in the movie, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the Weasley twins' death scene is not shown, instead cutting directly to his family mourning over him in the Great Hall. When Harry, Hermione, and Ron enter the room, Percy is there just standing in front of his brother's body, and instead it's their mom and Ron who kneel next to him, with George being comforted by their dad. It definitely is one of the saddest moments of the movie outside of the Snape death. It doesn't compare to the original material. Overall, Fred's death scene should have been shown in the movies because of the emotional impact and the fact that the Weasley twins played such a huge part in Harry's life. Have Fred's death depicted off screen and then glossed over in a one-shot moment, it's kind of an insult to the character's memory and everything he provided over the course of the series. I personally think that in the comment section, and be sure to like and subscribe. Okay, love you, bye.